Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Matrix English Podcast. I'm Maria, and I'm so glad you're here with us today. This podcast is made for people who are learning English, just like you. Every episode, we take one real topic, one real idea from science, psychology, or everyday life, and we explore it together in English. You don't just listen to a language lesson, you listen to something meaningful, something worth thinking about. And while you're thinking, you're learning. That's the idea behind Matrix English Podcast. So let's begin. Today's topic is one of the most powerful concepts in science, and it's going to change the way you see your daily habits forever. Stop for a second. Think about your life 1 year ago. Are you different now? Are you better? Most people say, not really. Nothing changed. But here's the truth. Everything changed. You just didn't notice. Because change doesn't happen in big moments. Change happens in small, invisible steps. Every single day. This idea has a name in science. It's called compounding. And by the end of this episode, you will understand why 15 minutes a day is more powerful than 1 week of intense effort. Welcome to Matrix English Podcast. Let's go. The word compound comes from finance. In banking, compounding means your money earns interest. And then that interest also earns interest. You put $1,000 in a bank. The bank gives you 10% per year. After year 1, you have $1,100. After year 2, $1,210. After year 3, $1,331. You didn't add any new money, but the amount keeps growing automatically. Small gains, repeated over time, become enormous results. Now here is the important question. What if your habits work exactly the same way? They do. And science proves it. In 2018, author James Clear published a book called Atomic Habits. It became one of the most studied books in behavioral science. His central idea is simple but powerful. If you get 1% better every day for 1 year, you will end up 37 times better by the time you're done. Let's check the math. A 1% improvement per day means multiplying by 1.01. Do that 365 times. The result is 37.78. Mathematically, 37 times better, but if you get 1% worse every day, the result drops to 0.03, nearly zero. Same amount of time, opposite direction. The only difference is what you do each day. This is not motivation. This is mathematics. Now let's go deeper into your brain. Your brain contains approximately 86 billion neurons. These neurons communicate through connections called synapses. When you repeat a behavior, studying a language, exercising, reading, your brain strengthens those neural connections. Scientists describe this with a principle from 1949 known as Hebb's law. Neurons that fire together wire together. Every time you practice English for 15 minutes, your brain builds a slightly stronger pathway. Day 1, a thin wire. Day 30, a thicker wire. Day 365, a strong permanent cable. This process is called neuroplasticity, the brain's physical ability to change based on what you repeatedly do. You are not just learning a skill, you are literally rebuilding the structure of your brain. But how long does this actually take? Many people believe the answer is 21 days. This is a myth. In 2010, researcher Philippa Lally at University College London studied 96 people who were forming new habits. The real number? On average, 66 days for a behavior to become fully automatic. Some habits formed in 18 days. Others took 254 days. But the most important finding was this. Missing 1 day did not break the habit. The pattern continued. However, missing 2 consecutive days significantly weakened the neural pathway. The practical rule that comes from this research is straightforward. Never miss twice. So why do some habits stick and others collapse after a week? The answer is dopamine. Dopamine is a neurotransmitter, a chemical messenger in your brain, strongly connected to motivation and reward. In 1998, neuroscientist Wolfram Schultz made a fascinating discovery. Your brain does not release dopamine when you receive a reward. It releases dopamine when you expect one. This means if you associate your daily habit with a clear signal of progress, a streak counter, a check mark, a visible result, your brain begins to anticipate that satisfaction before you even start. And that anticipation is what pulls you toward the habit automatically. This is the biological reason why habit trackers work. You are not just organizing your schedule. You are training your dopamine system to crave consistency. Now, back to the original question, why 15 minutes? In 2014, Duolingo analyzed data from over 500 million language learners. Their finding was remarkable. 34 weeks of daily 15-minute practice produced results equivalent to one full semester of university language instruction, not because 15 minutes is a magic number, but because consistency defeats intensity every single time. The brain does not respond well to massive one-time effort. It responds to repeated, regular stimulation. A 2019 study published in the British Journal of General Practice confirmed this across multiple disciplines: language learning, physical training, musical skill, and mathematics. In every case, short daily practice outperformed longer sessions done irregularly. There is also a concept in cognitive science called the spacing effect, first documented by German psychologist Hermann Ebbinghaus in 1885. Ebbinghaus discovered that information reviewed at regular intervals is retained far more effectively than information reviewed in one long session. His research introduced what is now called the forgetting curve, a graph showing how rapidly the brain discards new information without repetition. The curve drops sharply within 24 hours, but each time you revisit the material, the curve flattens. Over time, the information moves from short-term memory into long-term memory, permanently encoded in the brain. This is exactly what happens when you listen to this podcast every day. You are not just learning English, you are fighting the forgetting curve. You are flattening it, slowly, consistently, scientifically. There is one more concept worth understanding: the plateau of latent potential. James Clear describes it this way: imagine you are an ice cube sitting in a cold room. The temperature is minus 10 degrees Celsius. Nothing happens. Then minus 8 degrees Celsius, still nothing. Minus 5 degrees Celsius, minus 2 degrees Celsius. The ice cube looks exactly the same, no visible change. Then the temperature reaches 0 degrees Celsius, and suddenly the ice begins to melt. Was the work from minus 10 to minus 1 wasted? No, it was necessary. Every degree was building toward the moment of transformation. This is what happens with habits. For weeks or months, you see no dramatic result. You feel like nothing is working, but internally, the neural pathways are strengthening. The knowledge is accumulating. The dopamine system is calibrating. And then, one day, something shifts. You understand a sentence without translating it. You speak without hesitating. You read without stopping. That is not a sudden breakthrough. That is the result of compounding finally becoming visible. Most people quit before they reach 0 degrees Celsius. You are still here. That means you are still in the process, and the process is working, whether you see it or not. So here is what the science actually tells us. Choose one small habit, connect it to a specific time and place, track it visibly, never miss 2 days in a row, and trust the mathematics, because 1% better every day for 1 year does not feel powerful in the beginning. It feels ordinary. it feels almost useless until it doesn't. That moment is compounding.